Well, hello, welcome again to a reading of Herodotos, selections from Herodotos, and I'm in book 1 and got up to chapter or section 90. So at this stage, of course, Kroisos has been saved from the fire and is here discussing things, is given some advice to Cyrus, and Cyrus is rather pleased with this. So, Tauta akuon hokuros aperedato. So hearing these things, Cyrus was, this is from Huper plus Hadamai, he was hyper pleased, he was extremely pleased when, or perhaps since, it seemed to him, that is to Cyrus, this is from Huper Tithani, it's in the passive here, to be advised well. And the advice was, of course, to put a tax, a 10% tax on all of the goods that were being taken out of Lydia, on the grounds that it would go to Zeus. So having heard these things, Cyrus was very happy, since it seemed to him that he was being well advised. Inesas, and having praised him muchly, the pola is adverbial here, kai entelemenos, and having given orders to his bodyguards, we saw that word before, those who carry clubs, well, swords or something, so to the bodyguards. So having given orders to the bodyguards, epitelein, to bring to fulfillment the things which Kroisos had advised, this is now in the middle, hypothekato, the things which he had advised, he said the following things to Kroisos. O Kroisos, anartemenoi, this is from anarteamai, which is connected with this artios, to be ready. So perhaps ready or willing, and we get a genitive absolute here. So you being ready or willing, you being a man who is a king, being ready, literally we have to understand to perform good works and words. So both to speak and to do good things, literally to do good works and words. I teo, which is an imperative here, ask for a dosin, a gift, common enough noun from Didomi, a gift, whichever you wish to happen to you, parautika, immediately, forthwith. So ask for some gift, whatever you want to have to happen immediately. Hode apen, and he said, O despota, O master, iasas me karie malistaton theon ton helenon. Now this is a complicated sentence here. I think the karie is future from charisdamai. That's the second person future. So you will do me a favour. Iasas, this is from iao. So if you allow, so you will do me very much a favour, if you allow me, eperasthai, to ask, perhaps before that, if you allow me, having sent these chains, these fetters, to ask the god of the Greeks, whom I honoured most of all the gods, to ask them, if nomos esti, it is the custom hoi to him, ex hapatan, to deceive those who treat him well. So he's going to send off to Delphi and show him the chains and ask him, is this the way that you treat people who do the right thing by you? Kyros de erata hoti hoi tuta ep agorion paraitioita. And Cyrus asked, this is again a little bit tricky here, the ep agorion is to complain. So complaining in respect of what things he had asked for this for himself. So putting it in better English, so he asked what complaint he had against the god in making this request. So literally Cyrus asked, complaining in respect of what thing he had asked this thing for himself. Kroisos de hoi, with this funny verb here, it's palilogio and it's been augmented. It's very rare. It only occurs, I think, twice in Book 1 of Herodotos, and that's it in Herodotos, and elsewhere only in later authors. The word, the meaning's clear enough. It's from palin and logio, to speak again, and hence to repeat. So Cyrus repeated hoi to him all of his own dianoion, all of his own thoughts. Perhaps we'd say in English his thoughts, his intention perhaps might be good. So Kroisos repeated again his entire intention, and tone cresterion, and of the oracles, the hypocrisias. He spoke of the hypocrisy of the oracles, and especially of the anathemata. I think these are the offerings. It's from anatithemi. We get our word anathema with a very negative sense in later Greek, particularly during the Christian period, because offerings to statues or statues that had been put up were seen as wicked, and hence took the name of anathema. But here it just means the offerings, the statuary, etc., that he paid for at Delphi, and how ep erthes from ep iro, this is the aorist passive participle, having been stirred on by the oracle, he made a campaign against the Persians. Legon de tauta cat ebai neautis paraitiomenos apenai hoi to theotu to onadisai. And saying these things, katabino, it's a funny usage here. It's got the sense of to, katabino simply means to go down, but it has a rather extended sense here of ending what he's about to say. So he ended by asking again. So he finished off the conversation by asking again that it be epaenai, that it be allowed for him to reproach the god. This takes a dative, to reproach the god tuta in this way, or in regard to this matter. Kyros de gelasas apin, Cyrus, having laughed, said, kai tuta chux ei. Now this is from tungkano. It's an irregular future from tungkano. You, and it's second person singular. So you will meet with this from me, O Kroisos. So I will agree to this, O Kroisos, and understand you will meet with each other thing of which at any time, or at each time, you ask. So you'll get this from me, and you will also receive from me at each occasion anything else that you ask. hos de tauta e Kroisos, and when Croesus heard these things, having sent ton ludon, and I think this is a partitive genitive, so some of the Lydians to Delphi, he gave instructions that they, having placed the fetters, these are the chains that Croesus had been tied up with, epituneu ton udon, at the udon is the threshold, it's the entrance way of the temple. Erotan, this is from erotao in Attic, it's infinitive, to ask if uti epi skunata toisi mantei oisi paris Kroison, etc., and to ask, were they not ashamed in any way over the oracles, they having stirred up, it's from ep-iro again, so they having stirred up or incited Croesus stratuesthai to campaign against the Persians, hos plus a future participle here from katapower, with the intention of putting an end to the power, or the power of Cyrus, to the empire of Cyrus, from which such things were to be acrothinia. This is these are first fruits or offerings from war, offerings from the spoils of war, hoi to him, and they're supposed to do all this deignuntas, pointing at the fetters. So just to do that again. So were they not ashamed in any way at the prophecy, by their prophecy, so having incited by their prophecies Croesus to campaign against the Persians with the intention of putting an end to the power of the empire of Cyrus, and then pointing to the fetters, those from which such things were to be for him, that is for the god, acrothinia, first fruits or offerings of war, tauta de eperotan, and to ask these things, and also if it was a custom for the Greek gods to be, if it was a custom to the Greek gods Aenoi to be acharistoisi, ungracious. So it's agreeing with the gods here. So if it was accustomed, and we get this in the dative because it's agreeing with the gods here. So if it was a custom for the Greek gods to be ungracious. And that's the end of chapter 90.